The Elder Scrolls 6 is confirmed to be Bethesda's next game after development is fully finished on Starfield and its upcoming DLC, so fans will have a long wait for the next Elder Scrolls game. The Elder Scrolls 6 is expected as early as 2026, but 2028 is a more likely release window for the game. Even though details are sparse for the Elder Scrolls 6, we just got some new details on some of the possible features that could be in the game. Fans of the Elder Scrolls series have been eagerly awaiting the release of the 6th installment in the franchise, and recent discussions suggest that the leveling system from Skyrim might make a return. Former Bethesda design director Bruce Naismith says that the Elder Scrolls 6 will absolutely use a similar leveling system as to the one used in Skyrim. Here's a look at the Minimax YouTube interview with Bruce Naismith.
Things that were developed in Oblivion and in Skyrim will be further developed for Elder Scrolls 6. I don't know what they will be, but you will find my fingerprints on many of those things.
Okay, kind of the descendants of some design ideas you had back in 2011 type
Absolutely. The whole magic system for Skyrim, right. I persuaded Todd to let me throw out the baby and the bathwater and restart from scratch, and he trusted me enough to do that. There will probably still be traces of that in 6.
Yeah.
The whole, you do it to get better at it. While that was not my unique idea, I had a large hand in that. That's absolutely going to continue. A lot of the concepts dealing with how you level and things like that, there'll be a bunch of new ideas thrown in, but I'm betting some of the stuff that I worked on will still survive to the new one.
Skyrim's leveling approach was praised for its intuitive design that allowed players to enhance their skills by actively using them in the game world rather than distributing points in a more traditional RPG style. This speculation of the leveling system carrying over is fueled by the enduring popularity of Skyrim, which has seen multiple re-releases and a steadfast community that supports the game. Skyrim's leveling system was a significant departure from its predecessor, Oblivion, where the leveling mechanics were considered cumbersome by some players. In Skyrim, the more a player used a specific skill like lockpicking or spellcasting, the more proficient they became at it, leading to a natural progression that felt more immersive and organic. Bethesda's approach to the upcoming Elder Scrolls 6 might be to iterate on the successful formula of Skyrim rather than overhaul it completely. Fans have argued in the past that the Skyrim leveling system should not be replaced, but rather refined and expanded upon to suit the new title. Bethesda has been known in the past to listen to their fan base and may likely blend together player feedback with their vision for the game's progression system. The Elder Scrolls 6 overall is still shrouded in a big mystery with no official release window or detailed gameplay mechanics revealed. However, it's clear that the leveling system will be a critical aspect that could shape the overall experience of the Elder Scrolls 6. Fans are hopeful that Bethesda will strike the right balance, preserving the elements that made Skyrim accessible and engaging while innovating to keep the gameplay experience fresh and exciting for their new title. While it's yet to be seen exactly how the Elder Scrolls 6 will handle progression, the prospect of a Skyrim-like leveling system has many in the community optimistic about the potential for an engaging and rewarding RPG experience. As I mentioned before, the much-anticipated release of the Elder Scrolls 6 may be further off than fans hope. Bethesda's Pete Hines indicated that the game is still in the very early stages of development, tempering expectations for a swift release of the game. This news means that the next chapter in the iconic series is likely still several years away, 2026 being the earliest that the game could release, but 2028 is far more likely. 2028 would also perfectly line up with the projected release date of the next generation of Xbox and PlayStation consoles. And now that Bethesda is owned by Xbox, they could be shooting for a 2028 release window to make this a launch game for the next Xbox console. The statement from Pete Hines also suggests that Bethesda's current focus is still completely on Starfield until its full completion. The priority given to Starfield though implies that significant development resources won't shift to the Elder Scrolls 6 until that project is closer to completion. Also, considering that Starfield still has an upcoming expansion in the works, this sets the stage for a lengthy wait for any of the Elder Scrolls fans out there. Bethesda's development timeline is not that unexpected for those familiar with the company's history though. The gaps between their previous major releases have often spanned several years with a focus on quality and depth that requires extensive production time. Skyrim, for example, was in development for several years before it was eventually released in 2011. The long development cycle for the Elder Scrolls 6 could be seen as both a curse and a blessing for the studio. While it does mean a longer wait for fans of the series, it also suggests a commitment by the studio to meeting the high expectations for the next installment in the series. Bethesda appears to be investing the necessary time to ensure that The Elder Scrolls 6 is a substantial advancement over its predecessor in terms of both technology, design, and storytelling. The revelation of Elder Scrolls 6 early development status sets the stage for a release that is potentially years away, with Bethesda's immediate attention on Starfield and its DLC. Fans are gonna have to sit back and be patient for this one, but if Bethesda's track record is anything to go by, the wait could be well worth it, heralding a new era for the beloved franchise with the promise of another groundbreaking title. Now that we've talked about the game being in early development, let's talk about that announcement back in 2018 that seems so early now that we know a release window. Bethesda's early announcement of The Elder Scrolls 6 raised eyebrows among fans and industry observers alike, departing from the conventional marketing strategy of unveiling a game closer to its actual release date. Bethesda revealed The Elder Scrolls 6 with a short teaser trailer at E3 2018, and if the 2028 release date is to be believed, then that's 10 years between the announcement and the release of the game. One significant factor in this early announcement is the fierce competition in the RPG genre, with other franchises like The Witcher and new IPs making strong impressions on fans out there. By announcing The Elder Scrolls 6 so early, Bethesda likely aimed to reassure fans that a new installment was indeed coming, maintaining interest and loyalty to their franchise. Additionally, the early announcement by Bethesda served as a strategic move to influence investor confidence. As a major player in the industry, Bethesda's announcement of a sequel to one of their most successful games of all time was a clear signal of their ongoing commitment to high-profile and lucrative projects. This can also be particularly important in the context of company mergers and acquisitions, as was the case with Bethesda's eventual acquisition by Microsoft back in 2021. There's also a technical and industry trend aspect to consider. With the advancement of gaming technology and the increased scale of video game worlds, development cycles have become a lot longer than they were in the past. By announcing The Elder Scrolls 6 so early, Bethesda has set the stage for a lengthy development process. This has tempered expectations for a quick release and allowing themselves the broad creative and technical leeway needed for such a mammoth project. Finally, this early announcement may simply reflect a shift in Bethesda's marketing approach, creating a long-term hype cycle and community engagement. This extended hype cycle can be beneficial for the studio, creating a persistent buzz and fostering a dedicated fan base eagerly following every development, no matter how small. Bethesda's early announcement of The Elder Scrolls 6 appears to be a multifaceted strategy, balancing market persistence, investor relations, and the evolving nature of game development cycles. While this move may test the patience of eager fans, myself included, it's a move that could strengthen the game's success and Bethesda's position in the industry in the long run. It's true that we might have a long wait for The Elder Scrolls 6, but I have no doubt that Bethesda will deliver us the next great game in this storied franchise. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with all the latest Elder Scrolls 6 and other gaming news, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.